Well, let's just wrap up what happened at the weekend. You maintained your improving form and improving results. Now 3 unbeaten. Pleased with that?
Yeah, really pleased. And having watched the game back, I thought there was a lot of control in the game, which I thought watching from the sidelines Saturday. So, yeah, the results are brilliant, but I also think the performances are beginning to pick up, and the players are showing some belief in terms of what we're trying to ask them and starting to deliver. But like Saturday, like I said, that's gone now. We've got to concentrate on a tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, that game last weekend was side 9th in the table before you kicked off. Now you're getting ready and preparing again for a side that's very close to them as well.
Yeah, but they're all tough games, aren't they? You know, the teams below us are starting to put some little runs together between them. Also recruiting to strengthen their squads. So they're all tough games. And the old cliche, we're just going to go one game at a time. And if we get setbacks, not let that affect us. If we win, draw, we won't get high. It's certainly forgotten about as quickly as possible on the Sunday, and we're preparing for the next game. So we just take each game as they come and trying to get improvements out the group. That's
something that you made very clear, isn't it? You're not a manager that dwells on whether it's been high or a negative from the previous result. How important is it that you get that over to your players as well?
I think they understand. I think it's good for the players to get the applaud when they do well. But the fans certainly don't remember the last game if you lose the next game. Unless you've gone on 15 unbeaten, whatever. But so it's really important that they have that frame of mind, and that'll put them in good stead going into training for the week, really focused on what's to come, and training needs to replicate what we do on a Saturday.
Obviously the positive as well last weekend, there was a couple of more additions, one with the new one and one with Callum Ainley back on the bench. You had a bit stronger of a squad to choose from. It's going to get even better for you this weekend because your captain's free from suspension. Yeah,
it's nice to have them options, be able to make them changes slightly earlier. I thought they both had an impact, Bass and Callum, when they come on, freshened it up, which is good, which is what we want to have. Luke's obviously back this Saturday, but the two boys at the back have played really well. So between now and Saturday, Friday, I've got a tough decision to make.
Yeah, that was a follow-up question. You probably knew it was going to come because he's your captain. He's been arguably the most consistent player. You've had a few consistent players, but he's available. Conor Reardon's come back and done really well. Again, is that something that challenge that you like, to have those options?
Yeah, definitely. We want more competition. I think Nev coming in's added that up the front line. Callum coming back's added that to the line slightly behind, and now Luke's back, so that adds to the back line. Competition for places is important, and hopefully it raises the standard even higher in training. And like I say, we'll see what decision we come up with Friday.
I think you spoke on many occasions that having those options from the bench are very important, and we mentioned Callum Ainley, but I suppose it was a tough decision that Basala Sambu went out of the starting 11, the effort that he's put in for you, but he came on and he had an input as well.
He was brilliant, Bass. I spoke to him Friday in terms of what we were going to do, really professional, train like an animal on the Friday. After we had a team presentation, he did, and I thought he did that when he come on. The obvious one is goals with Bass, which he's dying to get, but you can't fault his all-rounder, contribute to the team. And we're going to continue to work. He's going to be important to us, like everyone. Dan, Nev, they're going to be important to us between now and the end of the season, and we'll do everything we can to get him in positions to score goals.
Just before we get into the updates on the January transfer window, how it's going, just on Stockport, it was only a couple of weeks ago, of course, that you played them on the Boxing Day fixture. It wasn't a particularly good afternoon for you, but you would have learnt a lot from that game.
That's the main thing, lots to learn and to take from the game. We were watching it yesterday and going over some bits and bobs which we need to improve on. We did have a few missing on that day, and there was players playing that probably shouldn't have played. No excuses, I'm not making excuses, but we'll definitely have a plan ready to have a better account of ourselves than we showed on Boxing Day.
Just looking back to your squad, when I looked at it again over the weekend, out of the substitutes that were named, 5 were your homegrown youngsters. Yeah, they might not be getting so many minutes on the pitch, but how good and how important is it that this experience is coming for them on match days? Yeah,
I think it's a brilliant experience, and they're around good professionals who train properly, who prepare properly. I think it's really important for him. Even Joel Taberner, he's had plenty of game time this year. He's probably slightly ahead of where we anticipated. But it's only good for them, isn't it? The likes of Lunty and Mattis being in and around it to see what it takes to perform at that level. If it can accelerate their development, then brilliant. But I'm sure when they go home, they're taking a lot of information with them, seeing how the management team act, what to expect if and when they get in around the first team.
Well, it is now the middle of January. We've all said our farewells, of course, to Arthur Okonkwo. We spoke highly of him, what you said after the game and what Alex said before the game. He's gone. Dave Richards come in and performed admirably. How does that goalkeeper situation sit with you? Is there a chance that you might want another goalkeeper or not?
Just firstly, on Arthur, I thought he was brilliant for the football club. I spoke to him, I said if a player comes to a football club, it's important they leave a fingerprint, and he's certainly done that. And we wish him nothing but good luck. Arsenal have been fantastic with us. We obviously got an inkling of this was going to happen before Saturday. We didn't want to put anything out just in case something didn't, and he could come back. And plus we had an opposition to play, which could affect what they were thinking. So we tried to get the information out there at the right time when we knew everything was done, because you just never know. He might have got wherever he wanted to get to and thought he wanted to come back to Reseed. So you just never know. I thought Dave was terrific on Saturday. He pulled off 2 great saves. He's a good character. He's vocal. You can hear him on the pitch. Then at the minute he's got the shirt, I spoke to him about that. If he performs like he did on Saturday, then he'll stay in goal. In terms of what we're going to do with the goalkeeper, I think it's important. I like it to Boovy to Arthur. Do we want him sitting on our bench all this year and next year maybe, and not playing much football, because we think he's going to be a really, really good goalkeeper. So if we can accelerate his own development, but also strengthen us with bringing a goalie in, then that's something we'll look at. But we're not in an immediate rush at the minute to do that. But we're mindful of there's a few little aspects of why we do something to benefit one of our players also.
So where are you up to now in terms of positivity in that window with your talks and what you've done since we last spoke last week? Well,
we had a really good meeting last night with a player via Zoom, and I thought that was really positive. Some really good feedback straight away, basically from the club. So I'm hopeful to hear back off them this morning. I'm waiting. I think I said this last week. I'm waiting on one more phone call as well. But we're working hard. Again, I'm trying to get in players who I think are going to help us and improve us. We could have done our business by now, but it's also important with what funds we've got available to make sure we get the right people that are going to help us move forward in the league.
Are you enjoying a bit of the wheeling and dealing?
Yeah, it's just loads of conversations, isn't it? And then people coming up with unrealistic things for you and soon put the phone down on you. So no, it is what it is. Yeah, it's fine that the staff have been brilliant as well, helping out with all that type of stuff, trying to take as much off me as possible. But that it's sometimes some things are unrealistic. You just entertain the call for half an hour, and but we're working hard and we're trying to get the best players in we can.